For years, Cote d'Ivoire has been known for its relatively reliable power supply. Well, relative in the sense of compared to her West African neighbors. That said, the recent power cuts have posed enough problems to draw the satire of a local cartoonist, Dadie. His newest cartoon villain, Delestron, is an entertaining way to look at the growing issue of power outages in the West African nation.
When Charles Daddy became fed up with the constant power cuts in his hometown of Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, he went back to the drawing board. The cartoonist, whose pen name is Chaba, decided to do what he does the best and use art and cartoons to address the issue. That is how Delestron was born. The cartoon villain, whose name is a play on Delestron, French for black house, goes around various neighborhoods of Abidjan, cutting power supply.
Delestron is a character that hides and lights the dark. It's a character that goes around neighbors cutting off electricity supplies and then quickly disappears. That's a little bit how Delestron works. He's a little spooky and a fanatic.
Though power cuts in some other Western African countries are commonplace, Cote d'Ivoire has largely been spared these bouts of darkness compared to its neighbors. Authorities blame the recent power disruptions on vandals stealing cables and rods. The cartoon character has become a hit on social media websites, where many say it reflects a growing concern that these cuts are coming more frequently. Daddy adds that although Delestron is a light way of looking at the problem, he hopes that its popularity will push the government and the authorities into addressing the blackouts.
Je pense que Delestron était quelque chose qui sommeillait en chacun de nous.
I think that Delestron represents something that is in all of us because it's a real problem and a Pan-African problem. And I think that it has allowed the authorities to react a little quicker to address the situation. It's true that the power cut have not yet stopped, but authorities are now trying to do what they can to solve the problem.
Mais bon, les autorités essaient de faire ce qu'ils peuvent pour pallier à cette situation.
Frustrated residents in some of Abidjan's neighborhoods say the constant power cuts have affected their ability to make a living.
We are not able to work properly. We always have to wait for electricity to come back in order to cut our clients' hair. And because there are too many power cuts, clients no longer want to come back and our business is running at a loss.
Authorities are pushing for heavy investments to boost power output and meet growing demand in the West African nation, where economic growth is rebounding after lagging the rest of Africa for a decade. Rampant fraud is costing the country's power utility, CIE, around 45 billion CFI francs, the equivalent of $1907 million in lost revenues each year.
By the end of 2013, we hope to reduce blackouts to an average of 35 hours of power cuts. And with the program of reforming the power sector, our aim is that by 2015-2016, we will be able to reduce it to an average of 15 hours of power cuts.
As part of efforts to spur its recovery from brief civil war in 2011, Cote d'Ivoire is aiming to increase power production by around 80% over the next 6 years. Sun Lan, CCTV.